Hello, my fellow pet lovers. Welcome to yet another episode of Rafiki Paw. My name is Anita Waithera. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope so far the year is going well for you. If not, keep believing, keep trusting, and do not lose hope. So today we're in South Sea. Today's episode is all about showing or knowing or learning about the relationship with the dog, how to build a relationship and how to build the confidence with the dog. Stay tuned, guys. Hi guys, so let us meet the guests for today. I'll let them introduce themselves. Hi guys.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Alfred Mbeka. I'm a professional dog trainer. I've been working in the industry for 6 years now with my colleague. He'll introduce himself.
My name is John Skarmanga. I'm a dog trainer as well, and I'm working with Alfred Mbeka.
In those 6 years, what made you start this dog training?
Wow. The passion was already there. And growing up as a young kid, ever since I was a small kid, I've always had the opportunity to interact with animals and also be able to have personal connection with animals, not just for dogs, different animals in the farm. So as time went by after high school, I sorted out a school in South Africa that was really interested in teaching young people about dogs and also what you can get out of the professionalism that comes from it. So after a couple of months, we decided to go there for a year. I studied and came back to Kenya with knowledge on dogs theoretically and also practically. So now it's just a matter of continuing and teaching and letting people know and learn more about dogs in terms of education and also awareness.
And then when you're in South Africa, what was the most memorable experience or the most valuable lesson that you got from the dogs, from just learning about dogs?
What I can say about most memorable is I had an opportunity to interact with a 9-month-old Lionhead Rottweiler. His name was Brody. And after just getting to interact with him, seeing his character, seeing his demeanor, his temperament, I just fell in love.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So do the both of you do this full time?
Yeah, we do it full time. On a weekly basis. Then Saturday we have a socialization class where we hold it at different places. With our clients,
Like an event or just at home?
What do you mean by events?
Like socialization classes. At homes now, and for example, what I get from that or what I understand is, like when guests are there, how like the way you socialize the dogs with them or during events. Are those classes part of that?
No, with this one, it's part of our training where our clients bring their dogs as well. We call as many as we can. And the dogs get to know each other, learn from each other.
Oh, yeah.
And we also do the same as humans.
How do you develop the relationship with a dog?
Asking me as a green person and asking me as someone who's been able to interact with dogs. And professionally. For starters, you have to do a little bit of research. before thinking about getting a dog, because dogs have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of costs and expenses when it comes to their health, the activities that someone is supposed to do with them, or exercising them in generally, and also paying for their health welfare. Apart from that, as you do your research, you need to identify what kind of dog do I need. Why do I want that dog? What is the purpose of having that dog? So once you have all those three in your own mind at the time you're looking for that specific dog that it is that you want to look for, now you underline specific characters, temperaments. So now you're more aware of what you should expect from the dog that you get, as opposed to you just going to see someone and telling them, hey, me, I want a dog. They'll give you any dog, and then you don't know how to potty train the dog. You don't know what sort of training the dog needs in terms of obedience. You don't know if there's if the vet visits that you should take. You don't know you should socialize your dogs the way you socialize your kids, taking them to school to meet other kids and also taking them to social events. So as much as you want a dog, as much as you need a dog, you always have to do your research. Once you get your research right, you can get the dog that you want. Now when it comes to building a relationship with a dog, you have to be there from puppyhood to adulthood, because that is the time when the puppy is around 8 weeks to 12 weeks is when they start imprinting. So the best way to imprint with your puppy and create a bond and a relationship, taking them out for walks, trying as much as possible to let them understand that there are limits in the house. Whether it's eating, there's a limit. Whether it's playing, there's a limit. Whether it's being told, being given a command, there's a limit to it as well. So apart from them just being puppies and being kids the way kids are, it's mostly play, sleep, eat. So as much as you're interacting with your puppy, you need to understand how your puppy behaves. What characters does your puppy have, in order for you to be able to create that bond and that relationship between you and your dog. So it's easy for the puppy to trust you as the owner, and also for you, the owner, to trust your own dog, because you already know what is expected, how your dog behaves in a specific situation, so you're very comfortable with it. Yes.
How early should you start training your dog?
As early as 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like for example, you're saying a dog should be given exercise.
Yes.
1 month-old puppy, unaitembezaje? Like, because it's very new to the leash.
Yeah. First thing, you need to introduce the dog into the household. You need to identify a spot, if it's a dog that's going to stay inside the house or it's a dog that's going to stay outside the house. So you have to identify where exactly is the dog going to live from. So once you have that identified, with puppies, you have to build a base. You have to teach them, yes, you can get, and no, you can't get. And letting them roam around the house freely is not setting rules and boundaries. But you have to look for a puppy pen or a kennel that you're going to put outside or inside the house, where if there's no interaction with the dog, you put him back in his crate, so that he gets to learn to play independently, sleep independently, hang on its own independently, and also just teach itself on its own, as opposed to having the dog following people around the house every single time. So once a dog is bonded to you and there's a relationship set, and that dog is always following you around the house, it is prone to behavioral problems such as separation anxiety, whereby once you leave that house, that dog is never going to keep quiet. The dog becomes destructive inside the house. So you find that a lot of the time, people don't really pay attention to what the dog needs. They either want to have the dog as a lifestyle, or they either want to have the dog because their friend told them to get a dog, or
pressure.
peer pressure basically, or they just want to have a dog because they are happy seeing a dog around in the compound. So it's just a matter of you getting your research right and also understanding what is needed and what effort you should put in when it comes to raising a puppy from 8 weeks to 12 weeks to 6 months to 1 year. And apart from just raising the dog, you also need to understand with dogs there is something called spaces. Spaces are very important when it comes to training, when it comes to socializing your dog, when it comes to interacting with your dog. Because some dogs, whenever you hold them around the head, they get aggressive. Some dogs, you may hold them around the paws, they get aggressive. Some dogs you can try and interact with over the fence and they get aggressive. So it's just a matter of spaces. It's like you having your own personal space around your face, your social space around your body, your home space around your house. Because you have 4 corners already. So it's just a matter of how you interact or how comfortable you are someone else interacting with you in your own spaces. Yeah. So you also have to look at that when you're getting a dog and also when you're interacting with your dog.
And then because very many different trainers have different likings and different specifications on how they train their dog. What are the areas that you mostly train your dog on?
Most times I usually try as much as possible because Rottweilers have, I'm a Rottweiler fan and I love Rottweilers to death. So even in the near future I'm going to start breeding pedigree puppies, and also trying as much as possible to teach people about having Rottweilers and also to raise awareness when it comes to dogs generally. So me as an individual, I love Rotties, and with my dogs, as much as possible, I try and expose them to the outside world. Whether it's going for car rides, whether it's going to meet other people in their own homes, whether it's interacting with small kids, whether it's interacting with older people or older dogs. The more you expose your dog to different scenarios, the more it's easy for you to expect positivity in terms of what you've already taught your dog and how the dog is supposed to react in a specific setting. So once you have that and your dog already has the basis on how to respond in any environment, you get a civil dog.
So this one.
So it's more about exposure.
And then what is the last part?
Yeah.
What is one thing you hate or your pet peeve that you see people doing to dogs that really agitates you or really angers you?
As a dog trainer,
with the experience with those
with the experience I've had and the interactions I've been able to have throughout dog training, is people actually don't care.
Don't care about the dog.
People don't care. You love your dog, yes. I'm happy to see my dog. Yes, I'm jovial, I'm happy. But then what am I doing? Am I taking my dog out for training? Am I taking my dog to be able to work with them in terms of obedience, to listen to this and this and that? It's like just having a small kid. There's no way you as parents decide to, let's have kids. And you've not planned yourself. You'll definitely have kids and you know the responsibilities that come with it. So each and every one of you is ready. So you need to know, I need to take them at school at this age. I need to do these sports activities at this age. Same as dogs. Once they're small puppies, you need to socialize them with other dogs. When they reach a specific age now is when you start giving them physical exercises. And then after that now is when you can start socializing them with other dogs. So it's a process. And that is the thing that people say they love their dogs, they want to spend time with their dogs, but they don't pay attention to the needs of the dogs.
In the near future, what are your plans or what are your goals for dog breeding and dog training?
Our plans are, we want to not really selling, but We want to have like high quality Rottweilers. We want to be top suppliers of Rottweilers. Not only as a pet, but we want to focus on working line dogs as well, security dogs. That's our plan.
Yeah.
That's our plan. That's what we want to achieve. And that's what we are working towards. Yeah.
And then if, for example, what are like the things that you always want to tell people about dogs before purchasing dogs or before getting dogs?
What I like telling people is, first of all, know yourself, because not everyone can handle big dogs. Also, the homestead matters, kids, family. What else? I'd say different dogs have different, what's it called? Raising, not even ability. Raising. You know, the bigger the dog, the more expensive it is to take care of it. The smaller the dog, the less. Yeah. So know yourself first. Yeah, and know, can you work with an agile dog? Can you, or you get a pet? Yeah. So just don't go and buy any dog because it's a dog. Yeah.
And finally, why so passionate? Like, how far is your passion for dogs?
How far?
Yeah,
I'd say I'm in love with them.
that is how far.
Yeah, I'm in love with dogs. I'd rather work with dogs than people. That's me. Because these guys are just magnificent. They never disappoint, unlike people. Yeah.
Because people never get why dogs. People never get why you're so passionate about dogs.
Yeah.
Why would you rather spend your money and take care of a dog than use that money to go and do some charity?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like dogs are pure. A dog can never betray you unless you mistreat it. Yeah, so with dogs it's just perfect. It's perfect. They're beautiful creatures. Yeah.
Well, that was an interesting episode. I learned on just not to get a dog because I'm a new parent, ma'am. So I learned something. I learned a bit. I hope you guys learned also. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring that notification bell. Until next time, guys. Bye.